it's just been very meaningful for us. So I'm really glad we have decided to commit, and it also comes with the caveat of it could all just go to crap.
Hello everyone. You can probably tell from the title of this video that we have had some things going on behind the scenes that we haven't been sharing with you. First of all, my health, and second of all, the state of the Grand Lady project. I'm going to start with my health. How to start? There's something about my health that I haven't been sharing. I mean, everyone's medical information should be as private as they wish. But now I want to share it with you. I think this is for me, in some ways to help me accept what's been happening, and also for you, maybe to help if someone else is experiencing the things that I've been experiencing. And really, I've been editing things out. I've been editing things out of the videos that would show my symptoms, and I just don't want to do that anymore. So, most of you know that I'm a doctor, and I moved here to Syracuse to do radiation oncology residency at Upstate University, which had always been my dream. I actually didn't match into that. It's a very competitive specialty, so I didn't match into that at first. I started out in neurology. Then right before COVID hit, I decided to try match again and got a spot here and was just thrilled. Yeah. Well, sometime into my residency, I started having strange symptoms that I didn't understand at first. I started having hip pain in a strange spot that I just couldn't get rid of. It kept me up. I couldn't sleep with it. Eventually I was only sleeping 2 or 3 hours a night, and then I started having shoulder pain, and my arm and my hand lost dexterity, which made it very difficult to do any procedures or to type. And I became very anxious, and I just was so tired. I pushed through that, not really understanding what was happening to me. Eventually I just kind of crashed, and I couldn't carry on with residency anymore. Residency is very difficult. It's quite a challenge. It's definitely 80 hours a week for years with very little time off. So I just thought maybe I needed to rest, and I just never really felt better after that. And a couple weeks into being home and trying to figure out what was happening to me, I started noticing a tremor in my left hand, and then it hit me that I had the symptoms of Parkinson's. It took a while to get that confirmed. You know, it's even for doctors, it's hard to get appointments with specialists. So about a month later, that was confirmed, and with a movement disorder specialist as well. And then I had a very difficult decision to make about residency. So I had spent the last 9 years or so preparing to be an oncologist, and then I was faced with realizing that physically I wasn't going to be able to do it. So this was very different for me. I'm pretty much do 3 things at once, and always been very healthy and have worked very hard on my health. I've been an Ironman triathlete and just really an active person, and So this has been a big change. The other part of this stuff that's been going on behind the scenes is about the Grand Lady. You all know that we had a terrible disaster from the roofing company who put on a membrane on our house after they'd ripped the roof off, and that membrane was supposed to be waterproof, but it apparently was the wrong membrane because the 3 days of torrential downpour that we had basically flooded the whole house. And a project that had started out to be a 6-month sort of remodel of a home that was in pretty good condition with some things that needed replacement, but generally it was intact, then became a total gut job and a project far beyond what we ever thought we were taking on. So unfortunately, the roofing company at first started to help us try to dry it out, but then very quickly abandoned us, and when we contacted their insurance company, they ghosted us too, which was surprising. So we eventually had to file a lawsuit, which we will be in court this coming March. So during that time when we were trying to recover from all the water damage, we ended up using a lot of our own money, not from a loan. We actually had a construction loan from a local bank. And a construction loan is where you lay out your project and how much it's going to cost, and then you break it down into stages that you accomplish along the way. And so as soon as you get money for the first stage, and then as soon as you complete everything in that stage, the bank sends out an inspector who agrees or disagrees, and then if they agree, you get the chunk of money for the next stage, and on until the end. So that was the water damage happened in the middle of our first stage, so it didn't take us the expected time. It took us about 1.5 years to be able to recover from that. Jim and I did a lot of labor taking out the lath and plaster that was destroyed, and then realizing we lost the wood floors that we intended to refinish, and then to realize that the house was full of mold because of all this water, and then through mold remediation. So at the end of this long process of trying to get back to the place we could start again, this was about the time Randy started, and which was wonderful because we had a carpenter before him that really didn't know what he was doing, and was very difficult situation. So we got through that, and Randy came on, and it was just such a breath of fresh air, and the momentum was just beginning to roll. And then we had trouble with getting the bank to send out a inspector, and eventually they said that with the money left in the loan, they didn't feel like we could finish the project, even though we mapped out how we could. So we lost our construction loan, and so we're kind of in this limbo. We're waiting for the trial. We've pretty much exhausted the money that we can. Been very careful with that, and we have our own contingency fund in case, a personal disaster occurs, or not sure what else could happen at this point, but you never know in life. So I must say, throughout this whole experience, having that all happen at one time, it kind of just was like the perfect storm. Had some pretty severe depression, which I have been fighting, and the depression has been pretty brutal. Seen a therapist for. I'm very grateful that discussion about mental health is much more out in the open now because it's part of our lives, and especially with the world the way it is now, such a volatile place lately, and a lot of people are suffering from it. So I'm glad we can at least talk about it. So I'd like to share that I'm struggling with it too. Like I said, I have a therapist who is wonderful, and I've also done some psychedelic therapy that for me has been extremely helpful. I know it's on the cusp of being pretty much everywhere, and people are talking about having done it themselves. If you do, please find someone that has done this for a long time and will take care of you during the experience. That's my 2 cents on the matter. It's pretty important to have a guide. Having to give up my residency spot, the grand lady has been just so important to me. It's meant a lot that we've had so much support from you who watch here, who are local and from all over the world, and supporting and cheering us on. It's really meant the world to us, and it's nice to find people who are kind and that's their natural way of being. So we're not giving up. We really do believe in this project, and it's been an opportunity of a lifetime, and we're very stubborn, so we are definitely going to keep going, and we're definitely going to keep sending out videos for you to watch us, follow along with us. And you know, nothing in life is guaranteed. I'm sorry this is coming out at Christmas, but this is the time when I'm feeling ready to talk about it. So, well, we're pretty confident that we will win in the trial. Whether or not they appeal or not, we'll just have to see. So the limbo has an unknown length, but we're still going to be here doing the projects we know we can do and saving up bits of money for moving the house along. And Randy is such an amazing carpenter. He has many jobs available to him, and he has said he will definitely be back when we get this figured out. He says it's one of his favorite projects, so we're really grateful for that. And I don't know, I hope you hang in there with us. We're gonna hang in there, and we've got windows to do, I've got more doors to do, I need to do the vanities, and there's just a lot we can accomplish while we're having to wait. So the channel's going to keep going. Thank you to all of you who are there every time I post a video and are so positive about the progress. Now maybe this will explain a little bit about why my videos have been a little less consistent. If you want to contribute to the fight against Parkinson's, you can do that whether you have Parkinson's or not. The Michael J. Fox Foundation website is a good place to start. You can participate in some of their research. And if not, that's okay. I mean, everyone's got their burdens and their lives, and yeah, I think I'll end there and just say thank you so much for your support and for being here for us. And I look forward to being able to share more about our lives a little bit more openly, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should